Welcome back to Vibes of Steel. Today we are checking out the new Traveler record. Did come out this last Friday in full. However, they did release a single a few months ago, or a month ago, about a month ago. The single's titled Heavy Hearts. So I think we'll check out this one just because they have a video for it to give you guys a bit of a taste of kind of what their sound is like and everything else like that. I think it just kind of adding a visual, I think, helps the sort of experience of the whole thing, right? Traveler are a heavy metal band from Calgary and sort of abroad. I believe the singer JP is from the States. I think he's from Portland, from what I gather. Anyway, I became aware of this band fairly early on through JP's connection to the band Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper, kind of where I'm from. He used to do vocals for them for a little bit. I was a pretty big fan of his style of singing. And then, of course, he joined up with Traveler for their first full length, and this is their third. So they've been hitting it pretty heavy. Haha. They sort of like a blend of like old school heavy metal 80s kind of stuff with a bit of speed metal vibes sometimes. Similar bands to Gatekeeper, but also bands like Riot City, who are also from Alberta, Calgary. Let's jump right into it. I'm super excited. I did listen to the album a little bit already. However, I don't know if I've listened to this song off of it. I haven't listened to the whole album. It was just kind of while we were driving around. So I'm pretty stoked, and I think you guys will like it. So let's check out Traveler's Heavy Hearts, shall we? And I kind of skipped through the intro just so it wasn't a black screen when we were loading in. Anyway, let's check it out. Very nice. See, very sort of like classic vibes. Song's a little bit more power metal, kind of. But it's very catchy. I like the they're not overplaying, right? Which is cool. Little dual lead thing. That's pretty cool. It's very sort of like flashy. It's kind of cool. It's like, I don't know. It's very built for the live sort of setting. It's like the third guitar solo in a 4-minute song. Ooh. So yeah, that was Traveler's Heavy Hearts. A nice rockin' little tune. I think it'll go off really well live, and I think that's what they're going for, right? Is kind of this live thing. They're definitely a live band. What else? I liked the guitar solos a lot. I think it's cool, you know. I like the fact that there's bands that still care about the guitar solo and about the sort of showmanship. I think that's a really big part of this band in particular. And I like that there's this urgency and speed to it. It's very catchy. It's almost power metal-y, but not quite, if you know what I mean. It sort of lends itself a little bit to Iron Maiden. One of their other songs off this record, Take the Wheel, starts off with a very Iron Maiden sort of riff with the dual harmony kind of stuff, and I think they show that off again with some of the other the dueling lead stuff. But yeah, I think they excel with writing in this style, and I really liked their first album a lot. I didn't really listen to the second one as much when it came out, but I'm really excited for this one, Prequel to Madness, which is an excellent title. But yeah, it's just 80s heavy metal worship kind of sounds. It sounds really good. The production is really great. I think it's like nice and crisp for them. The vocals are obviously very good. He's singing very high on this track, but he pulls it off really well. And I like the chanting harmony vocals as well. I think they do that really well. They do it elsewhere throughout their catalog, and it sounds good every time. So they've got some singers behind their singer, which I think makes it full, right? It's this really full kind of heavy metal sound. And I think the drums and the bass did really well. They're just sort of like holding it down, right? Intensity, I think, is in the urgency of the track. And I think they just sort of hold it well. They're not showing off in any means, and I think the guitars are obviously the show-offs of this band. But, you know, for rhythm, right? Like, you don't need to necessarily be blast beats and, you know, crazy drum fills and bass solos and this and that. I don't think you need that for this style of music. But I do appreciate, as a guitar player, to hear the guitar sounds and the solos and the exciting thing that makes heavy metal really awesome. And I think, you know, a lot of modern bands, not necessarily in this style, because there are more and more newer bands taking on this throwback kind of thing. I kind of hate to call it throwback, because I think what they're doing is they're just pushing it forward. Like, it's not nostalgic for nostalgic's sake. I think they're really trying to bring it to new audiences, rather than just the same old Iron Maiden and the same old Judas Priest and Metallica and this and that, because those bands are getting on in years and they're not going to be around forever. I can almost see the bigger picture in a band like Traveler to keep that going beyond when these legacy bands start retiring, stop doing shows. And I think they're doing it in a way that's smart and powerful and expressive, if that makes sense. It's not derivative. It has its own thing. And that's what I think is hard to place with this band, is that I can't say, oh, they're an Iron worship band or an Iron Maiden worship band. They're not, you know, taking something from one band and trying to like reintroduce it. It's more like they're bringing it back to what made heavy metal great in the first place. And I think that's what I really appreciate about bands like Traveler, Gatekeeper, Riot City. I could go on and on. There's all kinds. Smolder is really good too at this. And again, I hate calling it throwback because it's just heavy metal. That's just how heavy metal should sound. And I think we've sort of gotten away from that since the 90s, really. And it's not like these bands don't keep popping up, but I think there's this nice new wave of it happening. So that's kind of why I wanted to show off Travelers today. I'm a big fan. I think they are really, really good at what they do, and I love that it is local-ish for me. You know, I can see, I've seen Traveler before, and I get to presumably see them again because they're kind of close. I like that for me. I like that for my little metal thing happening around me. And I think that's why, as well, that I would encourage you as metal fans or whatever to go to local shows and go to smaller venues and check out some of these bands that are up and coming, because you find some real gems and some real metal. Like it's there for the taking, it's there for listening. You just have to know how to search. And I think the best way to do that is to do it local first and sort of build out from there. You know, I found a lot of these bands just checking out local shows and seeing who they like and like, you know what I mean? So I think having that introduction on a local level brings out these really great bands from abroad, right? It's not that every band you see that's local is going to be good or going to be something special. I think just supporting that scene and supporting that growth from artists too is really cool. It's cool seeing bands like Traveler do their thing and go to Europe and do this and that. I don't know. I think it's just really cool for the heavy metal scene as a whole. Anyway, that's the video there. I'm going to call it there. Not too much to talk about the actual song. I think it's just a great track, but I do think it sort of highlights the importance of supporting local stuff like that. So that'll do it for me. That was Traveler. That was Vibes of Steel. Peace.